I have used one of these many a times. You see, my friend, this is a grinder, and if you use a grinder, I have something today that I think you're going to think is, well, real nice like. Now, what we're talking about today is this. Now, what's nice about this is it's cheap, easy to use, inexpensive, and I just found out about them. So what I have right here is a wheel made by 3M. It's a Scotch-Brite wheel. Now, I guarantee anybody watching this video right now has used Scotch-Brite in some form. If you've cleaned your dishes, you probably use the Scotch-Brite. Guffing up some woodage to put new paint on it, probably use the Scotch-Brite. But this disc right here is for the pros. And it's also a Scotch-Brite. This is the Clean and Strip XT Pro disc. Fabrication, removing old paint, body work, whatever. Let me show you what this thing can do. Come on. Ooh. All right, so today we got some nasty here. However, I'm just getting over a really bad sinus infection, so I don't want any of this dust, none of this rust in my face, so I gotta protect myself. So let's get suited up. I must lead by example. You know, sometimes people say I go too far with things. I don't think so. I got my gloves on, got my glasses on, got my glasses on. Oh yeah. I got my hair protection on, yeah. I got this. I ain't getting no dust, no rust on me, no how, no way. I think it's impossible to get on. What, you got like remove the hat maybe? I don't, the goggles? Oh. Make fun of me all you want, my friends, but my face, my sinuses, they're all protected by my PPE. Yeah. Don't forget to squeeze. Yeah. I felt invincible that day, my friends. With all of my PPE donned, didn't have to worry about the dust or the rust in my face. But did they work? This disc, was it real nice like? Well, let's go back to the live feed and see what happens. Here we go. Understand what I'm saying? All right, so one of the tests we're going to use this nasty rotor. Got scaling on there, got some heavy rust on there, got some paint on the other side. It's just all around not real nice like. And what it's from, I have no idea. Now again, I'm using a 4-inch, but they have different sizes and different grits when it comes to the Scotch-Brite Clean and Strip XT Pro disc. If you need something that's more aggressive, you can go with the green one. This purple one here is like the medium. It's still very aggressive. I mean, it's taking that rust off like no issues at all, and it's polishing this thing up pretty real nice like. Now I do have a clip coming up with the sound on so you can hear it, but I'm telling you, this thing was nasty. This rotor was nasty. And usually when I do something like this, I was using one of those wire wheels, which I always prick my finger. That sucks. And then I always end up with these things just like all over the place. They're not real safe like. So what's nice about this is you don't have to worry about any of that. It's just taking this stuff down. And what'll happen is just like a regular grinding disc. It'll just sort of eat away until you need to replace it. You don't have to worry about the little wires all over the place. Now, the other thing I like about this is that it's sort of grinding, but it's sanding. And it's getting all that nasty off there, but you don't have to worry about any gouging or anything like that from a regular grinding disc. The other thing I like about this is it sort of allows you to get in those weird, awkward positions. But yeah, it's a harder disc. All right, let's do some sound. Now, again, as mentioned, this is the 4-inch. They have the larger ones. They have smaller. You could put these on a die grinder. They have ones that go on a die grinder to get in those really small areas. All right, so let's flip this thing over. We'll get some rust. Not as bad on this side. Definitely rusty, but doesn't have all that scaling on there and all that buildup. But once we get this down a little bit, we're also going to take off some of the paint on the back, which has been sitting there for quite some time. So these are also good for paint removal. You don't have to really worry about it damaging the metal or the steel underneath it. All right, so we took off most of the rust here. We're on the same disc. We haven't changed it out. Doing a great job. Let's take off some of that sweet paint up on top. You see there's a little bit of rust, a little bit of gunk up on top, and then just the paint. So it does a really good job. I really like these. I'm glad I found these. I'm definitely not going to be using wire wheels anymore. I think this is my go-to when doing things such as this. All right, let's go ahead and speed the rest of this up right here, and you can see the finished product. Well, there you go, my friends. It's all finished up, and look how shiny it looks. That is real nice like. Now, just to give you an idea, this is like from an old grill. This is like really sharp metal at the end. It's just all nasty. It's almost pitted the whole way through. Rust's almost all the way through. And I just want to hit this here and just see if this disc will last a little bit because, you know, it's nasty up here. But as you can see, even with something this rusty, you can see the rust coming off there. There's no sparks, though. It's like a low sparking, but like I haven't seen any sparks. They claim low sparking. I'm not seeing any sparks. But it takes that heavy stuff off. And then even when I hit those little grates there, those little air vents, you know, for the flamage to come out, I'm not having any issues with this thing just like busting up or chunks flying everywhere. So look at that. Yeah, I like these. These are, yeah. And just give you one more look. I'm doing the size here and again. Don't worry about those sharp edges. It's just taking that stuff and just blowing it right off. So good thing I got my PPE on. Now I chopped a lot of the clips up. I've actually been sanding / grinding for quite some time, just removing some of the stuff, and the disc is absolutely fine. No chunks taken off, so I like that. This is a newer disc, and this is what it looks like up close just so you can see. But all you have to do for your grinder is basically spin this thing on and then spin it right back off. Fine, you want to see it? I'll show it to you. It's not a big deal. If I'm turning it left, that takes it off. I want it to replace with a new disc. Just put that on, and it spins on like such, and then just tighten it down a little bit, and well, you're ready to go. So there you go, 3M legit on these. If you use a grinder, then you definitely want to check these things out. Again, super easy to put on, take off. They last a long time, and they do a really good job. So you don't have to worry about getting hit in the face with one of those wire wheels. And they're purple, you know, so it's cool. Now, I'll leave a link in the description below for you to check these out, but let me know what you think about these. Have you used them, or are you thinking about using them now that you've seen them on the tool review zone? Love hearing that sweet, sweet feedback. If you like this video, I got another video for you right now. Back with more videos soon.